Now pay attention, 007. I've always tried to teach you two things. First, never let them see you bleeding.
And the second?
Always have them escape.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Christopher Morales, that one Bond guy. I hope you guys are doing well. And today's video is all about something that we kind of overlook. It's definitely it's a pivotal part of Bond's sartorial wardrobe. It all has to do with ties. That's right. Ties are a huge piece of Bond's sartorial wardrobe. Ian Fleming writes more of a simplistic description of the type of tie Bond wears. Usually sticks to his grenadine, either black or navy tie whenever he wore his navy blue suits. However, the film series really defined a different version of his ties, especially with the Roger Moore eras, with something a bit more fun and out there like this one. And then, of course, as we get later on into the Brosnan era, kind of go back to those fun, funky looking ties. And then ending with the Craig era, which, again, we kind of go back to that simpler era of tie design. Nevertheless, ties are in and around the Bond sartorial universe, and it's one of those that I've definitely grown a rather large collection of, whether they're homage ties that I've gotten from my Thrifting for Bond series, which if you haven't seen, first off, please go check them out. It's one of my nearest and dearest collection of videos I've done over the years, going out into the world and finding those pieces and collecting them to create Bond outfits for a fraction of the price. It's a lot of fun and hopefully inspires you to go out and find some fun goodies yourself. My collection also consists of ties from places that I've gone to, whether it be a certain store that is connected to Bond, a Bond brand store, and I wanted to bring something home to remember that moment in time with, whatever it may be, or again, just some things that I've collected over the years that really are remnant of Bond, not necessarily screen accurate, but they give off the Bond vibe. So with no further ado, we're going to talk about all the ties that are in my collection and kind of go through, not all of them, we'd be here for probably a week and nobody wants that, but some that I've handpicked to talk about that mean a lot to me, some that have great memories tied to it, and we're going to go ahead and start off with the homage ties. I already showed you this one, but this is I like to call it my Roger Moore tie, because it definitely is remnant of his Bond's style, since which in the late 60s or 70s and beginning of the 80s, we really see Roger Moore push the envelope when it comes to Bond's sartorial style. It's not the Sean Connery classic navy suit anymore. We're seeing wide peak lapels, bell-bottom pants, crazy looking shoes, and a whole denim outfit. Not to mention all the safari jackets, which you can have your opinions on them. I think Roger Moore is the only one who could pull that look off. Nevertheless, he also brought in some really cool looking ties, and this one is definitely, there's a whole blog about it. Shoutouts to Matt Spacer of Bond Suits, who created a whole blog, an article about Bond strap ties, and one of these I found at a Goodwill of all places for 99 cents, and it goes with a lot of my light tan and tweed jackets that I wear. A lot of this usually gets a lot of time during the spring and summer months, which is perfect because it's exactly what we're getting into now, and I just love it because it's so Roger Moore, and it's definitely one of my go-tos in my collection. Now, jumping from Roger Moore all the way to Daniel Craig in No Time to Die, I actually did a Thrifting for Bond video about the Matera sloop suit outfit, and I really was trying to find something that would emulate that beautiful maroon tie. And funny enough, this right here is the closest that I got. It is a Pronto Humoro 100% silk, there you go, tie that, again, I've thrifted and I found at a local thrift store. Again, I believe it was like a couple dollars, and again, it has that beautiful sheen to it, beautiful color to it, and it also has the small little blue diamonds, which the original tie actually has circles that are blue, but this, I think, plays the part from the distance. And hey, what's Thrifting for Bond about? It's about finding the closest looking homage, and this is one that ticks all the boxes. So I absolutely love this one. Now, this next one you guys will definitely recognize, and it has a really cool story tied to it. I want to say about a couple of years ago, I had the honor of meeting up with Mr. Matt Spacer of Bond Suits, and he was traveling through my neck of the woods, and we got together and had a bite to eat, and he surprised me with this beautiful piece right here. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's a Robert Talbot tie, and yes, it even is a Royal Navy tie. And you recognize these colors as not only the Royal Navy colors, but also you see Roger Moore wearing in Live and Let Die, in that famous scene where he comes out wearing that beautiful overcoat and really looking official in this Royal Navy tie, of course tying back Bond's Royal Navy heritage. But no, this was a surprise because he actually told me he went through a vintage thrift store and happened to find this hanging, and he knew about what I love doing and all about my thrifting for Bond videos, and he wanted to surprise me with this. This isn't only a really accurate homage piece, but has a very special story to it. So again, Matt Spacer, thank you so much for this. This is one of the highlights for sure in my homage tie collection for my Bond collection, and has definitely seen quite a lot of wear, and I always get compliments on this because it looks stunning. Last year, I went to London to experience the Cue the Music Show's concert. Spectacular, absolutely spectacular. Doesn't even start to describe the Cue the Music and what they do to provide experiences for Bond fans. But nevertheless, there had to be a day where we went out in town and went and did a little shopping. Found myself back in my home, like I consider it home. I haven't gotten a suit there yet, but I will one day walk out of this location with my bespoke suit, and that location is Huntsman. For now, I wanted to go and treat myself. I actually, keeping it with Bond, but yet still tied to my love for Kingsman, because of course Huntsman's was the location as well as the inspiration for Kingsman the Secret Service film from 2014. I decided to make a purchase, and I got myself a beautiful knit green tie. So I don't have this color at all in my collection. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it is from one of my all-time favorite tailor shops that holds very special memories to me. Not only that, but I also got to learn the history on the difference between knit and grenadine ties, and it has everything to do with the type of thread that they use. This tie and a couple other ties that I have actually are knit. Now, the grenadine are the more traditional, older style ties that Bond wears, and of course Ian Fleming describes. But the reason why they're like this, which is pretty innovative if you think about it. Normal silk ties, going back to this one, you know, they're beautiful, right? They have a great sheen to it. But when you kind of crumple them up and they're packed away, you gotta be careful because then they get wrinkles. However, with knit and grenadine ties, you can crumple them up, you can put them in your suitcase or your handbag. I don't know why your tie would be in a handbag, but anyways, for travel, right? As, of course, 60s was the start of the jet-setting age, and you'd pull it out and it'd be just fine. So really cool little tidbit of knowledge there, and not only do they look nostalgic and gorgeous, they're very practical too. Keeping with the knit tie themed, I have this one, which is personally for me an homage to the Ian Fleming Bond. I had to get a knit navy tie, and this is the one I decided to go with. Absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. I've worn this one probably the most with a lot of my outfits than out of the rest of my ties, but for good reason, because it goes with everything. And I think that's why Fleming decided to write about Bond specifically wearing navy, because it goes with literally everything. But this tie in particular is from Turnbull and Astor, our friends over there. This one specifically actually came from the New York City store. I got help over there as I went to go visit, I believe about 3 or 4 years ago, and got a really awesome tour of their location there in New York City, and I left with this really cool tie. I'll be throwing some pictures and stuff too from when I was there on location. It was just a great experience. Everybody there was extremely nice and showed us their Bond collection. Of course, spent about an hour or so there just perusing through everything that they had, and it was fantastic. Alright, now the last tie is going to have to wait 1 second before I reveal my most favorite and prized tie out of my whole collection. I wanted to show you guys this too, because there's one thing you gotta make sure once you get an extensive tie collection, and that is properly storing it. Something straight from Q Branch, aka Amazon, that I use to store all of my ties to make sure they are nice, straight, and ready to go for any mission. And of course, again, the ties that I'm showing you are some of my hand-picked favorites. These are all of literally my whole collection here. Some of which are also homage pieces, like honorable mentions would be my Skyfall homage tie, my Spectre Morocco homage tie, and let's see, where's that one that I like? See, they're all good. I can't pick. They're all good. A lot of them, too, are sentimental. Like these ties right here, I was gifted. They were my late uncle's, and of course, that's everybody in the family knows. I love to dress up. I was able to inherit these. So these hold a very sentimental value to me and my collection. I got this on Amazon for about 10-15 bucks. Really cool little setup here. You can have about 15-20 ties ready to go, and then you can conveniently hook it up in your wardrobe place as such, and your tie stays straight, no wrinkles. So shout outs to that Amazon find. I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. I'm not getting sponsored or paid for any of that. It's just a cool gadget that I found. So definitely recommend it for you guys, especially if you guys have a huge tie collection, so they're not just stuffed away and you never see them. Because come on, open up your wardrobe. There are all your ties. There you go. Now, last but definitely not least, my all-time favorite tie out of my collection. It is this one that you will instantly recognize. I kind of teased it a little bit earlier before, but it is my Tomorrow Never Dies Turnable Nasser 100% silk bond tie. This holds a very special story. This I got the first time I ever stepped foot into the original Turnbull and Astor store in England. I knew from the get-go what I wanted to get, and I ran straight to the Bond location, and this was the last one they had in stock for the regular size. I believe they had like a thinner sized or a skinny or slim fit size. But this is the original. This is the same cut, again, same pattern, same silk that they used for the original Tomorrow Never Dies screen. So this is as screen accurate as you can get. That Brosnan wore for that film, which is one of my all-time favorites. But this was one that I definitely had to get in England, and so this came all the way from the original store, and I wear this for special occasions. Definitely take really good care of this one because it's very, very special. So that's it. It's kind of a quick one, kind of fun one. It's just something I really wanted to talk about and share with you guys. As you guys can tell, I'm enthusiastic about my ties, and it's all about the details, right? And the tie really could make or break an outfit. There's tons of videos out there with people with way more knowledge than I have that discusses the importance of tie color, tie pattern in conjunction with the shirt you wear and the jacket you wear. All that stuff is out there. But for me, I'm just simply a Bond fan who loves to collect Bond-themed goodies and obviously look good in the process. And that sometimes includes a very diverse tie collection. It's kind of a fun one for me as I walk down memory lane, going back to New York, picking up that tie from Turnbull Nasser, and then again in Turnbull Nasser again, picking up the Brosnan tie all the way in England at the original store. So I'm kind of curious, do you guys have a favorite tie that you guys own? Do you have a story on a couple of ties that you wear that may have sentimental value, like the ones with my late uncle? I'm curious, let me know below. That being said, I'm Christopher Morales, that one Bond guy. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.